Hello everyone, welcome to Foster Recap. Spoiler alert, watch out.
Movie start in a post-apocalyptic world. It has been destroyed and turned into a desert wasteland. It's been 50 years since everything fell apart. Max, a strong survivor, sees things that aren't real. He frequently hallucinates his dead daughter. One day, he gets captured by a group called the War Boys. They work for a bad and ruthless leader named Immortan Joe, who controls the only place with water called the Citadel. Max has a special blood type, O negative, so they keep him as a blood donor. He tries to escape, but the War Boys catch him and use him to give blood to a sick war boy named Knox. At the same time, a tough woman named Furiosa drives a big armored truck called a war rig to get gasoline from a place called Gas Town. But instead of going where she's supposed to, Furiosa goes a different way. This makes Joe realize that his 5 wives, a group of beautiful and healthy women he keeps for breeding, are missing. Joe and his army, including his son Rictus Erectus, chase after Furiosa. They get help from their friends in Gas Town and the Bullet Farm, led by the People Eater and the Bullet Farmer. And a man with fire-throwing guitar. If you feel useless in life, just remember this man. Knox also joins the army with his friend Slit, and Max is still strapped to the front of Knox's car, giving blood. During their trip, the war rig fights against another group called the Buzzards, who also have their own small armored trucks. Furiosa and her friends manage to fight them off. To escape from Joe's army, Furiosa drives into a big sandstorm. But when it clears, her friends find out she's trying to betray them and turn against her. Knox, who believes that dying in battle will take him to a special place called Valhalla, tries to blow up the rig by crashing his car into it with gasoline. Max gets free and stops Knox, but the explosion destroys Knox's car instead. When Max wakes up after the storm, Max tries to free himself from chain, but he's not able to do it, so he carries Knox's unconscious body with him. He sees Furiosa fixing her truck and the wives cleaning themselves and taking off metal belts. Max points his gun at them and demands water. Then he asks them to free him from his chains. Furiosa fights back, and they have a big fight. Knox wakes up and joins in for a short while. Max manages to get a gun and overpowers Furiosa. He steals the war rig, but it doesn't work because of a safety device. Max reluctantly agrees to let Furiosa and the wives come with him. He takes control of all the weapons in the truck. On their way to the canyon, the rig suddenly experiences a problem. It turns out that the hydraulic brake connector for the fuel pods has been disconnected by Knox, who secretly sneaked into the truck. This causes the wheels of the trailer to lock, and it gets dragged by the rig. Max goes to fix the brake, but they are suddenly surprised by Knox, who is easily outwitted and thrown out of the rig by Max with the help of the 5 wives. Knox returns to Joe with a piece of a dress from one of the wives. Furiosa drives the rig into Rock Rider's territory, heading into a narrow canyon. They had previously agreed to exchange gasoline for safe passage, as the trailer is said to contain around 3,000 gallons of fuel. However, Joe's forces are closing in, and Furiosa flees while the Rock Riders detonate the canyon walls to block Joe's path. Max and Furiosa fight off the pursuing Rock Riders, shooting at them with their guns. However, Joe's vehicle manages to evade the blockade and attacks the rig. Knox boards the rig while Joe tries to shoot Furiosa. Angharad, Joe's heavily pregnant wife, shields Furiosa, and a fight breaks out as both sides fight each other from their vehicles. Unfortunately, during the struggle, Angharad falls from the rig and is run over by Joe's vehicle, the Gigahorse. Her death leaves the remaining wives devastated. Despite attempts to save Angharad's baby by Joe's chief doctor, the organic mechanic, the child is already dead after being removed from his mother's womb. Furiosa explains to Max that they are escaping to the Green Place of Many Mothers, a location she remembers from her youth, which is known for its lush greenery and abundant water supply. Capable, one of the wife, finds Knox inside the truck, and he is distraught over contributing to Joe's wife's death. Touched by his remorse, Capable consoles him, and he shifts sides, deciding to help Furiosa and the wives. At night, the heavy rig gets stuck in deep mud. Furiosa and Max slow down Joe's forces with explosives, but Joe's ally, the Bullet Farmer, pursues the rig. Knox helps free the rig while Furiosa shoots and blinds the Bullet Farmer. In response, he retaliates with machine gun fire and explosives. Max ventures into the darkness to confront the Bullet Farmer, killing him and safely returning to the rig with guns and ammunition. As dawn breaks, the rig continues its journey through swampland and desert. Eventually, the group comes across a naked woman. Max recognizes it as a trap, but Furiosa leaves the rig and reveals her affiliation with the Vuvolini, her former clan. The woman, Valkyrie, calls forth a group of desert bikers who realize that Furiosa is a member of their all-female clan. Furiosa was kidnapped by Immortan Joe as a child. Learning this, Furiosa feels devastated, as the swampland they passed was actually the Green Place, which is now uninhabitable. They share their experiences and thoughts, feeling sadness together. In the morning, the group agrees to ride their motorbikes across the vast salt flats for 160 days in search of a new place to live. Max initially chooses to stay behind, but after experiencing visions of his deceased child named Glory, he convinces the group to return to the Citadel. The Citadel has ample water and greenery that Joe keeps for himself. Their plan is to trap Joe and his army in the canyon of the biker gang. The group begins the journey back to the Citadel, with Joe realizing their plan and pursuing them. Max and Furiosa eventually come face to face with Joe and his remaining forces. A battle breaks out between the two sides, with everyone, including Valkyrie and the wives, getting involved in the fight. Max manages to overpower some of Joe's men but gets heavily injured in the process. When he almost falls from the truck, Furiosa saves him by catching him. However, she is gravely wounded herself. Joe positions his car in front of the rig to slow it down, while Max fights against Joe's eldest son, Rictus Erectus. Toast the Knowing gets captured and put on Joe's car, but Furiosa jumps into Joe's car. The wives distract him, allowing Furiosa to hook Joe's mask to his car's rotating wheels, ripping his lower jaw off and killing him instantly. Nox decides to sacrifice himself by destroying the rig, blocking the canyon and killing Rictus and the remaining men. This allows Max, Furiosa, and the wives to escape in Joe's vehicle. Furiosa's injuries are severe, and she struggles to breathe. Max punctures her right lung with a small needle, enabling her to breathe. Max then donates his blood to Furiosa with the help of the DAG, in an effort to help her survive her fatal injuries. They all finally reach the Citadel, and the citizens gather around their vehicles. Max reveals the corpse of Joe, and everyone is overjoyed at the sight of Joe's mangled body, symbolizing the end of his cruel rule. At the urging of the joyful citizens, Furiosa and the wives take control and are raised on a lift by the young war boys. Furiosa is given an endless supply of water, and she notices that Max stays behind. They share a glance of understanding before Max disappears into the crowd. The end. Thank you for watching our content. Over 99% seeing our videos without subscribing. It means small to you, but it is very encouraging for us. Please subscribe if you like our video. Please like, share and comment to support our efforts.